Good evening. My name is Kimberly Brawley. I am a wife, mother to 7 children, and grandmother to 6. I was raised in Farmington and attended schools here. In fact, this school right here. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to address the issues of mask mandates that you have decreed over the children in our school system. George Washington said, "Government is not reason. It is not eloquence. It is a force. Like fire, it is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Never for a moment should it be left to irresponsible action." Let's take a quick look back at the Founding Fathers and how our America was created. The Founding Fathers had experienced firsthand the oppressive dictates of Parliament and the Crown, and that led to the American Revolution. They were suspicious of the accumulation of governmental power. With their experiences, they imbued liberty-preserving principles into the very structure of the new government that they created. They believed that the success of the Union ultimately depended upon the virtue of the people. Virtuous people courageously defend the rights endowed by our Creator and restored to us by the blood of patriots. Fearful people readily cede these rights in exchange for a fleeting sense of security. People lacking in virtue can be counted on to trade liberty for protection. James Madison said, "Our Constitution requires sufficient virtue among men for self-government. Otherwise, nothing less than the chains of despotism can restrain them from destroying and devouring one another." Benjamin Franklin said, "Those who desire to give up freedom in order to gain security will have neither one." We can see that trade in the current situation here in our country, and even more specifically, right here in Farmington, Missouri. You have chosen to trade the liberty of the people for so-called protection. John Adams said, "Our Constitution was made for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other." Have we lost our morals of freedom? As educators, I'm sure we know the meaning of freedom, but I will refresh our memories. Freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. Mr. Eric Schmidt, Missouri's Attorney General, has filed a class action lawsuit against school districts forcing a mask mandate on school children and teachers. The lawsuit, which is a reverse class action, names Columbia Public Schools, the Board of Education for the School District of Columbia, and their board members, and the superintendent for Columbia Public Schools as defendants. Quote from Mr. Schmidt, "We filed this suit today because we fundamentally don't believe in forced masking, rather that parents and families should have the power to make decisions on masks based on science and facts. I am committed to fighting back against this kind of government overreach. Americans are free people, not subjects," end quote. The lawsuit incorporates 3 counts. 1, a declaration that the mask mandates are unreasonable, arbitrary, and capricious. 2, the mask mandate is subject to Section 67.265 of the Revised Statutes of Missouri and expires without Board of Education authorizations. And 3, the mask mandate is unlawful as to school children. The resulting judgment from this lawsuit will apply statewide, and that includes Farmington Public Schools, you, the Board of Education for Farmington, and your board members, as well as the superintendent for Farmington Public Schools. So the question today is not, are masks a protection against COVID-19? Whether one is for or against the wearing of a mask should be a personal decision for themselves and especially for their children. The question today is, have we chosen to trade liberty for protection? Our forefathers of this great country fought valiantly for the freedoms that we enjoy today. It is our duty to continue the fight. Our fight for medical freedom will continue as we seek to educate our representatives, our friends, our family, and others about our constitutional freedom. To maintain our freedom, we must speak up. Even the structural constraints of our Constitution will fail without institutions to teach people how these constraints protect liberty and to explain why that liberty is vital to the success of our country. We must pass to subsequent generations the character, virtue, and knowledge required to protect our constitutional safeguards. Preserving the Constitution requires maintaining the virtuous culture it was designed to serve. Our children are depending on you to fight for their freedom, now and in the future. The decisions you make today will affect the rest of their lives. I stand here in action today, along with the many who are here with me, to show our solidarity, to pay the price to maintain our freedom and to create a great legacy for future generations. Good men and women, my request is, please rescind the mask mandate on our schools. Allow the parents and the children in freedom to make the best choice for themselves. Thank you.